But it's truly an honor to be here today. And the reason why I shared with you that poem is because that is the basis of leadership today. My leadership program that I share right now, I'm doing the Bridge Building Leadership Program. And it's so important because that's exactly what we're doing when we take different groups, age groups, for example, and we have leadership at every level. But for those of you that don't know or not aware, the baby boomers, right now, baby boomers are retiring from the workforce, also to include organizations, nonprofits, for-profit organizations, and they're retiring at a rate of about 10,000 per day until about 2032. They'll be retiring 10,000 people every day for the next 12, 13 years. So as they retire, as you can imagine, there's a lot of leadership, knowledge, experience, all of those things that are going with them when they leave. So a problem that we have is as the baby boomers are exiting out of their leadership positions and doing other things, there's a gap of this leadership. And the older people, they don't want to deal with the younger people sometimes because they feel like the younger people are so much different. And it's not just the millennials. We seem to pinpoint the millennials, but it goes further than that. The millennials are now in their 30s and 40s, so the millennials are not the problem, or not all of the problem. You have to go back further than that. But there's this gap that still exists between the seasoned leaders and the aspiring and developing leaders. And so that's where the bridge building leadership comes into play, because we have to fill those gaps. And if we don't, we'll be going backwards. And in leadership, where one leader ends, the up and coming leader begins. It should not be starting all over from scratch. So it's about legacy. And we're going to talk about that a little bit in a little while. But that's what we're talking about today. So as we go through this, I want you to think about it in terms of myself as a leader, and then myself as the mentor and the developer. Everything that we're talking about, it applies to us first, and then we have to turn outward and share these things to help grow and develop our up and coming leaders. This is very critical, because if we don't, we'll be starting over. We'll have a lackluster legacy that we leave behind. That's another key point. We have to focus on building a legacy for our children and their children and their children. This is the idea. So as we go through this, I want you to keep that in your mind. So it's been said that a wise person learns from his mistakes. That is true. If you go through life repeating the same mistakes over and over again, you're going to go nowhere. You're just going to spin in a circle and keep repeating that cycle. But when you learn from those mistakes, you can grow. But a wiser person learns from other people's mistakes. And I can attest to that. When I was growing up, and I spent a lot of time with my cousins, and we hung out, we played, and we did things. And if I saw one of my cousins get in trouble for something, pop, 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 I said, you know what? Okay, I saw what happened to them. If I do that, I'm going to get exactly the same thing. I don't want that. So let me do something else. But imagine this. The wisest person of all is the person that learns from someone's successes. When you see someone being successful at doing something, that's what you should pattern, especially if that's something that you aspire to do yourself. You should pattern your behaviors after that person and repeat the behaviors that produces the results that you want.